What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today we are in Ocean City, Maryland. We're here for Jeep Week, and I have both of my Jeeps here. We have the 2022 and the 2024. So we're gonna be checking out all the Jeep Week stuff, and I'm also gonna be giving you my 5 things that I hate about my Jeep. I love my Jeep, but there is 5 things that they can definitely improve on, and we're gonna be going through that with you guys today, as well as checking out all the awesome Jeep stuff that they have to offer here in Ocean City, Maryland. So here we have our 2022. It does have your classic Jeep grille in the front, and we have the cloth seats. Pretty basic as far as the technology goes. We just have all the Rubicon bits that you do want to have in a Jeep, and it is a 4-cylinder turbo. And then out here we have the 24. You can see with our under the sun insert in there with our American flag, and we have the full load on this 24 Rubicon with the leather, all the different things you can think of we got on this one. It's got the color match top, absolutely loaded up, and a pretty awesome Jeep to have. So my first thing on my list, and these are in no particular order, is the key to the Jeep. So the first thing that you get before you get in your Jeep is something that they could definitely work on, and it has this little switchblade key deal, which you don't on a Jeep generally need. It's got keyless entry. You grab the door handle, it unlocks. It has push to start on the ignition, so you don't really need this all that much unless you have like a base trim where you have to unlock it with a key. But yeah, this whole switchblade thing is kind of annoying because this is exactly what happens. You put this in your pocket, you bump the button a little bit, and then it opens in your pocket. It happens all the time. I've seen people try to do things like gluing a piece of, like a ring of plastic around here. It ruins the key and it just looks terrible. I did find a solution for this. This is a very cheap key cover that you can get on Amazon, and these are very cheap. And I got the red one just because, I don't know, like Hellcat red key is kind of cool, kind of matches the accent color of the Jeep, but it does give you this little bit of extra around that button. So now if I push on it, nothing happens unless I actually push a little harder into the center and actually get that key to come up. So if you have that problem with your key, which I'm sure you do, if you don't have this cover already, grab one on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description. It is a lifesaver for that annoying key that keeps popping out. So my number 2 on my list, and this is probably a modern car thing that most people hate about any modern car that has this, is this auto start stop. It's super annoying. Every time I have to get in the vehicle, I have to push this button unless we get a taser, which I need to do because that's something that you can end up having this always turned off, and then you don't have to worry about it shutting off while you're parked and just waiting for a light to change. Well, not necessarily parked, but you're just waiting, you're in gear, and you just want to go, and then the car shuts off, so, or Jeep shuts off. It's annoying. I actually think that start stop is just kind of a vehicle-wide thing, so it's just going to be a sideline gripe. It's not going to make our list, but number 2 is definitely going to be the seats. The comfort on them is marginal at best. Even in the leather, the totally loaded up version, which I like to call my little J-Wagon, kind of like, you know, the fancy version of the Jeep, which I really like the way these look, and I really do like all the technology and everything that goes along with this particular vehicle. But yes, the seats, especially when they're brand new, it probably will take a little bit to get used to the comfort level on these seats. The foam is fairly hard, and when you do get a 2-door, you don't get 2 power seats. So we now have power seats in Jeeps, but not on a passenger side in a 2-door because they have to have the manual flip forward so you can get into the back seat, and they don't really have any option for the driver's seat. But I did look at a 2-door Defender, and it did have entry on both sides with power seats. So it is possible. They just don't do it in the Jeeps just yet, or maybe they never will. That's just kind of one thing that I can say. The comfort and the functionality of the power seats isn't the greatest. And here comes the raindrops, but well, what are you gonna do? In Ocean City, sometimes it says it's gonna rain, and then it does or it doesn't, and you never really know. It changes really quickly by the ocean. Oh, we got a wave. Okay, well, that's the first out of like 5, because in Ocean City, every second vehicle seems to be a Jeep Wrangler. So yeah, people just get sick and tired of waving, I think, and they just don't. So that's one thing that I do notice down here, but maybe for Jeep Week, people will be more inclined to do it. I don't know. It's just kind of a fun thing. Some people think it's weird or whatever, but I think it's cool. So with Jeeps, you do have the little wave, the little 2-finger wave, and then you do have the ducks, which, as you can see, I don't have any ducks. My Jeep is fairly stock. I haven't had it for very long, and nobody has shown appreciation of my build because it's not really a build. It's kind of just stock. But yeah, that's what, if you're wondering what the ducks are, that is what it is. People keep ducks in their Jeep, and if they see another Jeep that they think is cool, they'll put a duck on it, and then that person will display their ducks like trophies on their dash, which it's just a fun thing that Jeep people do. And you know what? There's a huge following for these vehicles, and it's just a fun community to be a part of. It's for people that like off-roading, like outdoors, and just like to have fun with their vehicle and still enjoy something that they can daily drive, and it's still reliable and cost-effective and all of those things. And Jeeps are just fun. I mean, they definitely are. And I'm not lost on the fact that I have a Raptor hat on at a Jeep event, so we're gonna have to see if there's somebody selling Jeep hats or something, so I can get something that's more on brand for this weekend. All right, here we go over the bridge to the peninsula. And this is where we have the boardwalk and all of that. You can see we got the water, the bay, the big Ferris wheel out there, and all the beautiful sights of Ocean City. And I absolutely love coming out here. And in the summertime, it is a totally different thing. There's so many more people here, and we go out on the boat and all that. It's pretty awesome out here, I gotta say. Totally different than Pennsylvania, I gotta say that for sure. So while we're on the outside of the Jeep, I just wanted to talk about my number 3, and that is this right here. They have a little piece of PPF on our rear fender, but there's always road grime and just everything collects right here. There's always a lot of extra cleanup for this section especially, and if you're into the mud and everything, there is a lot of places for everything to get stuck down in these fenders. There is some sort of weather stripping or something we could do about that. That would be a whole lot easier for cleaning. Alright, so the parking lot is starting to fill up here a little bit. People are starting to roll in, and yeah, for a Thursday, I mean, there's quite a few Jeeps out already, but I imagine the weekend is gonna get pretty full, and it's gonna be awesome. So we do have the sun out, which is also very awesome, which I really love about Maryland, because it always gives you doom and gloom sometimes on the weather app, and then you end up with sun anyways. So just a little gift from the skies of Maryland. So usually on these videos, I mean, this is kind of a hybrid video between going to the Jeep event here at Ocean City and just some of the improvements that I think that they can make on the Jeeps, because if we didn't say what we didn't like about them, then we wouldn't be able to improve them into what they become today. So sometimes the people that make the Jeeps watch these videos. I know I've talked to some of the GM guys, and they have watched some of my videos on my Camaro stuff back in the day. So some of my gripes, they get to the right people, and then you end up with improvements, which is why we do these types of things. I make these Jeep videos because I love Jeeps, and I want the Jeep to be the best that it possibly can be. So we give the little tiny things that maybe bother us about the Jeep, and then they have something to work on when they make the next generation and make the Jeep the best that it possibly can be. So here we have one of these Mercedes deals. I don't know what was going on with it. The Mercedes symbol is actually like lifting up like a handle when the guy stopped. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that or what, but I know there's a lot of offerings now from the car companies for electric cars. What do you guys think about them? They do have a plug-in electric hybrid Jeep Wrangler, which there was tons of them on the lot, usually about 25 to every one gas Jeep
that was available when I bought mine, and obviously was not a fan of that. I went and bought the gasser because that's what I'm interested in. I'm not really into the electric thing. It seems like a lot of waste, and seems kind of like it makes the vehicle throwaway. I know people that have bought hybrids in the past, and then the batteries are discontinued and the vehicle is garbage. So I just find that in a gas vehicle, you can still fix that thing and it'll be around for many years to come. And I think a lot of these electric cars at this point in time, there's just really no way to keep them around after a few years. So I don't know, drop your thoughts on that. You guys like electric cars? I don't. All right, so number 4, we have our screen. We have nothing on our screen. That is because I push this button here. So if you have nothing on your screen, you just push that. There you go, it comes back. You want it off, turn it off. Works pretty decently like that. But my complaint is with our reverse camera. So put it in reverse, screen comes up, you can see you have your lines there, everything's very nice. It has that check surroundings thing, which goes away pretty quickly. On my Ram, it's more of a pain because it's a big black bar and it doesn't go away that quickly. Usually you're done your reverse action before it goes away, and it's right in your line of sight where you want to see, which kind of defeats the purpose of the camera. But with this, 2 parts. One, there's no 360 camera, and it's 2024, and this Jeep was north of 65,000. You would think a 360 camera should already be a standard thing for a vehicle of this level, but it is not. We do have our front camera, which is nice, and we have our rear camera. So we're dealing with that. My problem isn't with these during the day, it is at night, because this camera at night, and I have to check the front one to see if it's as bad, but the rear one is so grainy, it's almost hard to see anything out of it. So I definitely do not like the reverse camera on this. I don't know if this is a problem just with my Jeep, because I'm starting to wonder whether my 22 is as bad, because I don't think I really noticed that as much, but I don't have the front camera on the 22, I just have the rear. But at night, the reverse camera is definitely my number 4 dislike about my Jeep. One more thing between the 22 and the 24, which isn't exactly a love or hate thing. It might just be my Jeep, or it might be something to do with the 24s. When I start up the Jeep and first start driving, within the first few feet, I hear the ABS pump just do a little tiny burp, just a little burp. I don't know if you guys are noticing that on yours too. I don't notice it on my 22, but the 24 does it every time I drive. Forward or reverse, doesn't matter. It's just kind of, as a mechanic, catches me off guard, because I'm like, what's that? Why is it doing that? And I think it may be something in the programming, but if you guys are noticing it, definitely drop that in the comments as well. So now it brings us to our number 5, and that is my mirrors. My mirrors on my doors is fine, but when I take my doors off, I have no mirrors. This has been an age-old Jeep issue, and there's been a few different solutions, and none of them were really that good until now. So we do have a solution, which will be on the next video, so definitely check that out as well. But yes, there's no real good way from the factory. I think they have some sort of mount where you can take the factory mirror off the door, but who's gonna take their door apart and take the mirror off? We're not doing that. So I resorted to just the ones that go into the hinges, which if you move them, they're all off. They're kind of small, and yeah, they're not a good solution. They do work. They're not really that expensive, but we can do better than that, and we're definitely going to. Also, another little kind of 0.5 on my list is phone mounting. We do have these from ProClip USA in both my Jeeps, and I absolutely love them, but there's no good place to put your phone. You can stick it in here, but as you can see, this fills up with hand sanitizer and cords, and I usually throw my keys in here, and it's just not the best spot. You can't see your phone if it's stuck in there. And then, well, obviously we did our solution here. So you can put your phone in this, but this is not factory. So it's just one of those things. They don't really have a factory solution. And also there's an add-on with what we're gonna be doing for our mirror solution, where you can do a phone mount as well, but there are different options for that from the aftermarket. It's just one of those things that you're probably gonna have to visit when you're making your Jeep the way you want it. So there it is, everybody. My 5 things I hate about my Jeeps, at least my Jeep JLs, and things they can improve on, obviously. So if there's anything that you guys can add to my list, or if there's anything you disagree with me on, drop that in the comment section. If you made it to this point in the video, drop Jeep in the comment section or anything you'd like to say, and I can interact with you guys there. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.